And we're back, man. And we're back. International break or not, the content still has the content. I missed you lot, people, and appreciative to all of you lot listening, obviously live with myself, and obviously those that watch it on the replay. Do me a favor, smash the like button. How are we feeling? I'm going to ask you this probably into our FA Cup game or just the fact. What's this? What's happened there? Sorry, folks. It's taking me off my screen. As I was saying, I'm going to ask you this until, obviously we play another game and things of that ilk. But how are we over the cup game now, people? Are we over the cup game? I must admit, I don't buy the rumours with Kvaratskhelia or anyone. I don't doubt Arsenal's interest. I don't doubt Arsenal's willingness to get a deal done if it could ever happen. Not just us, but a number of clubs. And also, Kvaratskhelia, anyone can leave. The Lord of the Premier League is great, but he's got a good gig going on at PSG. The season is still underway. And it just feels like, obviously, we lost the cup final, but it just feels like whenever games go a bit left, there's either new Arsenal merchandise or there's rumors around and things of that ilk, people. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. We're going to go over everything. We got a lot to discuss, man. We got to kind of cover one, two things in relation to Manchester City's victory against us and then draw a line under that. We're going to get into the transfer news. Mods, please make sure people are smashing the like button. And as usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Hope you're all doing well and safe and you're all blessed. Kvaratskhelia and Alvarez would be cold. It'd be great, man. That immediately upgrades our attack, innit? You got them two. You'd have Eze. You'd obviously have, we hope next season, an informed Saka. You'd have Gyökeres chipping in. One of Trossard or Martinelli needs to stay, in my opinion. And then obviously you've got an upgrade on the left-hand side. But I will say this, Mikel Arteta, having the tool, going to the shop and getting the tools are one thing. Having the ability, the experience, the competency to utilize the tools is another thing. And if I'm honest with you, I don't think much of our attacking unit, keyword units, or the collective bunch. Individually, I don't think you're not your bad players. I feel there's a couple of you that I rely on. Saka, your form's been poor. Gyökeres, I got time for you. I'm a big fan of Eze, but the majority of you are hot and cold. But then, and you don't have to address that yourselves. But at the same time, if they're all underperforming, I have to look at the gaffer, because I did think that was something that tactically I'm not really seeing any evolution in that regards. Let's have it right. Our defense, spot on with our recruitment. Our attack is stale, whether it's age, whether it's wages, whether it's consistencies, whether you can't really look around our squad and rely on them, if that makes sense, in attack. And that's not me being positive or negative. That's just the God's honest truth. If you're watching Arsenal week in, week out for the last 4 years, we know we're going to score goals, but you don't know who. 2022-23 season, nobody on paper we think Martinelli and Saka them times are great. No one could have saw what they was going to do. Obviously, Odegaard was chipping in. The next year, there was probably more of an emphasis on set pieces. The next year, you get where I'm going. And then obviously this year, there's not really been any surprises. Gyökeres has found form in 2026. Eze, prior to his injury, got a bit of form. If there was a surprise, it probably would have been Trossard's form until probably the start of 2026. So you get where I'm going, innit? It's a bit of a mixed bag. Last time we looked into Kara, PSG set a price tag of 160 million, which would make him a world record sale for a winger, I believe. Yeah, so that's not going to happen on top of everything else we probably need to get done. See, one love. Big up the Bayesian. Schema, one love. Big up yourself as well, Samuel, Sadiq, Lintz, Patrick, _London. I tried, man. I mean, no disrespect. One love. Cara to Arsenal is cap. We don't do the necessary signings. Probably got more luck trying to find the next one, man. Great job slapping that happy down on TalkSport DG. Metaphorically, I'll always back the club. Then Duppy for Friday, innit? Like, if I'm honest with you, there's too many Arsenal content creators that are, either too happy to just blast into our club because it looks like they're real and things like that. And to be honest, I feel in the media, apart from Clive Palmer, myself, and Martin Keown, not that I'm in the media, I feel a lot of Arsenal fans are pussy-holes, if I'm honest. Like, just say what you mean and mean what you say. Bit nerdy, bit soft. Unfortunately, this is the game, innit? Crabs in the barrel stuff. I love him, but looks 0% lightly right now. If Arteta can't seal a trophy this season, his time is up shortly. I wouldn't be so sure, because that's what the fans feel, and that might be what I feel. But internally at the football club, has he hit the KPIs? Yeah, you might. Let's have it right. I'm sure, the Cronkies are saying two things like, yo, we've backed you, given you the job. We've given you spending. You've shown us reasons to believe. We need to make some more money. We need to make some more money in terms of outgoings, look after the finances. And, we need to actually win 1-2 trophies. But do I think it's a divine right? Like, do I think that the ownership are demanding silverware? No. And I do feel, and I have said this, and Hopefully it's not the case because we get over the line. I feel as long as there's some context behind it and there's no mad tail off, like we got to the final, we lost it, we never got embarrassed. You know, we're into the quarters of the Champions League. If there's no embarrassing there, if there's no embarrassing in the FA Cup, if there's some context around it, I don't think people lose their jobs, if I'm completely honest. Big up the Twitch gang as well, man. Els, one love, man. Been waiting for your live stream all day. Appreciate you. Give him Nelly and Trossard for Kvaratskhelia. That's Trossard in there, man. If I'm honest, leave Nelly. Man, hit the likes. As the football lecture is ready to open the show, you lot are too kind, man. If you got a question, feel no sort of way about asking them. My G, did you see Steve-O on Filthy Fella's been praising you? Praising? What did he say? I see him try do the engagement thing. And all I would say to Steve-O, the madman, the bars are ready if Arsenal win the league, because you think you're a madman. I'm a madder man than Steve-O could ever be. You get it? Like, Steve-O try pipe up and his team got piped down. He's listen, previews, they're ready. Yeah, but big him up. Make sure you lot win what you lot need to win. Make sure your apologies are as loud as your disrespect. But yeah, what did he see? I see Filthy Fella's video has been taken down owing to obvious reasons. You've got certain individuals on the platform. But hey, it is what it is. You see that Gyökeres has a 61% conversion rate after scoring 16 from 26 shots on target. Great. Would like him to score some more, man. I don't see us getting Alvarez just feel fake. I can't see us spending, and I know he can play out wide, but, and again, I wouldn't be against it. Him and Gyökeres fighting for a spot is great, but like you look in our team, we all know there's a need to get some money in, move some players on. And if we were to break it down, obviously I would you know, Alvarez is an exception to the rule. It might be too good of an opportunity to turn down, but we have had a lot of spending. I don't think we're under FFP. I think the Cronkies, and I'm not even dissing them, this is just how they have to operate. And they're writing that, yo, we've spent a lot of P's, certain man are on big wages, we're not getting too much bang for our buck. As much as football isn't a business, it is. We need to get some money in. You're looking, again, if you're going, unless Berta and these lot scout the Mo Salahs, the Manes, the Kvaratskhelia, these kind of guys before they obviously become household names, can you really see us spending 80, 100 plus on a striker before we talk about a left winger, before we potentially talk about centre mid, before we actually talk about outgoings? I'm not too sure. Love Arsenal, hate the ops. As the man has said, smash the like button. Hyper, appreciate you. Rival fans, rent is due, hit the like button. What tier are the links to Kvaratskhelia? I think it's from Miguel Delaney, but it is what it is, man. If Arsenal end up with no silverware this season, it'll be gut-wrenching. It'll be a bitter pill to swallow, and I put it a lot nicer than you. On the real, you handled the Abbey stuff well. They blame Arsenal fans for things we never said. Saw Cundy saying Saka is better than Neymar, and people think he's an Arsenal fan. And then, bro, even coming out and saying Pele wouldn't get in the England side. Let's have it right. All of these media dons, all people that... Everybody should be allowed to talk about football. Football is for everyone. It don't matter what team you support, all of that kind of stuff. And I wish we lived in a day and age where we could have banter. We could be shameless, but we could also have nuance to our conversation. We can also have some proper conversations. I think the traditional media houses, they've become the very thing they hate about YouTubers. You're just being whores for engagement and just rage bait. Everything's black and white. Everything's soundbite. Is that the belly of the beast? Probably. You know, again, things work in phases. Maybe we'll get to a day and age where there's a lot of balance. But then, you know, it gets a bit annoying because one thing I hate is there's delusional fans of all fan bases. Yes, Arsenal fans are on social media and whatnot. But it feels like a lot of people who say we're unbearable, they've got like a lot of fans that are not actually City fans got way more vim for Arsenal, away from the banter thing. But they got way more vim for this football club and us and asking for answers and stuff more than actually City fans. So that tells me two things. You're shameless. There's an agenda. You have a hatred. That's all cool. And there's probably things going on wrong in your personal life. But Arsenal equals clicks. There's a lot of content creators and media platforms and actually journalists that speak about Arsenal because that's what gets them clicks in it. So it is what it is. And as I was saying, there's twats in every fan base. But one thing I hate is like, man, people, these lot will go on Twitter, find the craziest of opinions and think that speaks for thousands of fans. And then you like to police Arsenal fans about what we're saying. But again, we don't like, I think I speak for the centralists in it. Like, we don't all agree on everything, but we're not sitting here. We'd like, who wouldn't want to win a quadruple? Who wouldn't want to do any of that? But we're not sitting there saying we're going to win this, that, and the other. And let's have it right. Yeah. A lot of people do not like this football club for whatever reasons, but also there's two other things. You know, in the same way we always say Spurs, they got no trophies, they got no trophies. When they sat and won a trophy last year, you have to hold your banter in it. When Arsenal eventually win, which I hope is this year, all the crap that they've been speaking, and at the time it was right, they're gonna have to hold that. They don't want to hear that. You know, they don't think what they're saying is unbearable. They just don't want to hold. They just do not want to hold that smoke, in my opinion. It is what it is. And let's have it right as well. A lot of these people that work in the industry, whether they're producers, whether they're on-screen talent, whether they're journalists, whether they're just normal football fans, a lot of their friends and family and everyone they see are Arsenal fans. So they're not gonna be able to get away with it. So it is what it is, man. I think he was like, he likes your opinion on stuff. Yeah, man. Tell me you don't, man. Going so late in all comps might be a disadvantage. It's hard to go from 0 trophies to 4. I hope I'm wrong, but we might have had less pressure if we went out of some cups early. Now, I can't lie, got 4 cracks to the cherry. You need to get 1. And I'm at the point where I'm not really entertained by any of this, but I look at these bunch of players. You haven't got to a final. You got to a final. Whether I do think there's elements of tactical stuff from you lot and the gaffer, whether it was whether it was a stage fright, whatever have you in it. But at the end of the day, like if we want to get to a scenario or a destination that we've never been, the players and the gaffer have to be something they've never been. Now, obviously, with it being the 25th of March, have we seen anything new? The good, the bad, and the ugly. And like I said, we're centralists here. We're logical people. We like the position we're in. Obviously, not losing in the final, but we like the position we're in. We have been nitpicking, we need to go up the gears. And, all the good, bad, and the ugly that's here this season has been there last season. Like, I don't think we've learned anything new. There's been little micro things. I remember for the large part of the season prior to Call's first injury, when Calafiori and Timber were fit, we saw something kind of new at fullback. Other than that, we haven't. And if I'm honest, if anything, I think Mikel Arteta has doubled down on his stubbornness, and we've spoken about this at length. Like, attacking play, all that stuff, it's not going to happen this year, innit? It's just going to be getting over the line. Now, I can't even tell you if that's going to happen next season, but, bro, just rise up some silverware. Facts, a lot of Arsenal fans seek validation from rivals, and more times they don't even bring facts to the table. It's jarring, bro. It's jarring. Henri said Arteta needs to find a way to overcome Man City and win the title. That's what he's done, but the knock-on effect is that it's made us less expansive, and he needs to find balance. Yeah, we can keep Nelly for the cups, but get rid of Trossard. He's been awful all year. Since the turn of the year, I don't really think it's fair to say he's been awful turn of the year. Hypothetically, who do you replace Arteta with? I personally don't think he should go if we don't win anything. But if he's replaced, bring me Cesc. Honestly, I don't have a clue, because for me, I wouldn't mind Hansi Flick, Luis Enrique. These things are not happening, but it is a weird one where you do have to consider, and I don't really subscribe to this, but you do, logically speaking, you do have to consider the managerial years, what he's done. Obviously, the criticisms of not getting over the line, but if you sack him, who are you going to get? We could get better, we could get worse, and we'd have to sign up for that. It's like being in a relationship. Gally, you lot can apply your own example, but it's like being in a relationship. You might be single. The next girl could be slightly worse or even better. But you're going to stay with that girl that you're not happy with, or you're going two different directions purely for that? I'm not too sure. I don't think we could rely and overly do who we're going to get if with Mikel Arteta. But then at the same time, bro, what are we doing here then? Because there are pros and cons. And I'm not saying you, but that's one thing that's annoying with Arsenal fans. For me, I feel Arteta can never do no right, can do no wrong, at times with some sections of our fan base, and then he can do no wrong. And like, I do feel like I do think there's an element of people that hate Mikel Arteta more than they love their football club. And I do think there's an element of people that support and love Mikel Arteta more than they love Arsenal Football Club. Both are wrong in my opinion. So it's a weird one, man. It really is a weird one. Like, when we're winning games, rather than just rejoice with your fellow Arsenal brother or sister, it's, I told you Arteta's the guy. Or you get moments like in the final where we can have legitimate praise and criticisms, but you get moments in the final where I do think when we win, there's an element of it. The gaffer gets all the praise, and when we lose, it's all on the players and it's all this and that. There's a section that there's a reluctance to just ask questions of the gaffer. No one's above criticism in this life. Not you, not me, none of these guys. Well, I can't lie. Jason Cundy's on a generational run, though. I do like the wind-up he does with Jamie O'Hara, but that's the game, innit? That's the game, man. We already have Dowman, Skelly, and Wanyeri. We just need a few more youths with massive upside, DG. Them Chelsea, man, don't rate Coleman at all, even though his levels on John Terry. Yes, bro, long time since I've caught you live. Appreciate you, man. Big up the Twitch game. Yo, DG, I've been seeing some really vile things said about Saka lately. Wow, this hate has transcended football banter. Twats are going to be twats forwards. One love, my actual guy. Richard, appreciate you. Hit the likes button, folks. Did you see the Athletic rival fan post on IG? Asked who fans would rather win the league. Both Chelsea and Spurs fans wanted City. I mean, they're allowed to do that. I wouldn't, if as an Arsenal fan, I would rather City win it than a lot of these guys. But fuck them, man. Like, honestly, fuck them. Like, fuck them. Like, even if we win the league, there's bare asterisks going to be applied and we're not entertaining and this, that, and the other. I do think there's an element of our fan base, and I know it's difficult. You know, you see me push back on mainstream things about certain narratives around our club. I know it's difficult. I do think there's some that want validation from rivals, but I also think there's some that, you know, you need to realize you will never, like, they will always move the goalposts. Like, you win what do you think is going to happen if we won the Premier League? Oh, it's taking you 20 odd years, but you can't retain it though. You win the Champions League, oh, I bet you can't win another one. This, that, and the third. Like, you're just gonna go around in the houses, man. And a lot of these people having these conversations, they're not lovers of the game. Like, they're not. You can be the most tribal Arsenal, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, whatever have you. You can love your club more than you love life itself, you know. But I do think if you truly love the game, you can take your cap off and review football, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Unfortunately, that isn't what gets shine in this day and age, man. Cesc and Alonso seem like great managers to come in, but are they really an upgrade? You'd never know unless they could get over the line. And until listen, I could sing Mikel Arteta's praises and criticisms, but fundamentally, bro, it's over the line business. Like, you might be the guy before the guy in that aspect. In that, obviously, Wenger had a lot of issues, but we came to the Emirates. He kind of had to sacrifice a lot. He got us in a great financial position. The academy's pumping talent. You know, a big part of what he done and the groundwork he done allows Mikel Arteta, let's have it right, an inexperienced manager at the time, to have more, more control and more money and more finances and a booming academy than you've ever helped. So maybe, Wenger's built the stadium. Arteta's put a lick of paint. Someone else brings in the flat screen TVs. And until we get over the line, I genuinely think every option has to be on the table. City have more trophies than Chelsea now, by the way. Don't let Spurs in blue banter you, lads. I mean, everybody wants to call us bottlers, and we'll hold that, because until, even though I don't think it's right, until you prove everybody wrong, they're right, innit? How many finals in England has Chelsea lost in a row? Quick research. If you're replacing Arteta, it has to be someone with real experience of winning. Anything else makes no sense. To begin with, it was a bad appointment. No one listened to Yardman. Big up Yardman, but it's fundamentally wrong, bro. You cannot sit there and say Mikel Arteta was a bad appointment. Like, you can't. It don't make sense. And I'm not here to, grease Arteta's palms and things. You can't. When Arteta, I could dead that argument in one sentence. When Arteta walked in whatever 2019, and if he left today, are we in a better state? Yes or no? Simple business. Now, again, I can only speak for myself. I'm not saying keep a man and he could do what he wants and whatnot, but it don't make. This is what I mean about the disingenuousness. Like, to some people, we can walk on water. Even the little idiot things like the toxic positive ones on social media, like, Arteta's never going to forget this when the City players are going and picking up the trophy. I mean, some of you have never been outside. Some of you have never played the game at any level. Like, do you think maybe Ryan Cherky's running backs? Do you think he gives a flying fuck about Arsenal? He's just won a trophy after a difficult season/week with City. He's taking pictures. The game is the game, and for me, I'm past the point of the players need to suffer. Yes, there's things you need to learn, fuel in the belly. I've felt granted you ain't been in a final, but in terms of disappointment, you lot have had highs, like really good highs, and then you've had lows. Was that the highest we've probably been as a club? Probably going into that final on Sunday, which we lost, or probably, beating Real Madrid across two legs. But how did it end? So you can't tell me it's a bad side. It's a bad thing. Arteta's defo made mistakes. He's defo got a lot of things wrong. It's a double-edged sword, because I do think his greatest strengths and weaknesses, like most people, is being an overthinker, and is obviously being an overthinker and being stubborn. But you need to find balance. As I said, if we want to get to a realm that we ain't been before, the gaffer and these players have to be something they've never been. That means whatever we think we're good at, it needs to go to next levels. Whatever we need to address, it needs to be addressed yesterday. It's as simple as that. The only question is Mikel Arteta a winner? Yes, he's won FA Cup, Community Shields, but we're cutting the banter and being serious. And then if every time you don't win it, it's getting bigger and bigger. And again, for me, I'm on everything. I don't love Mikel Arteta more than my club. I don't hate the guy. I actually think he's done a lot of good stuff, but if you don't rise up silverware, because we came into this season, listen, a trophy's a trophy, gloves are off. This ain't no free hit. I get it, because some older Arsenal fans, my age and older, this has probably been the best Arsenal have been in a hot minute. To some, this is the best Arsenal have been, like, in terms of fighting for a league title and things of that ilk. You can't be scared of the unknown. Riley, one love, man. Let them suffer. We'll make it all sweeter if we do it. Both of them teams' fans are mules. I'm going to see you at the parade act. It's going to be unbearable settings. Come on. Been saying for ages, they move the goalposts when it comes to Arsenal. Bro, it's here, there, everywhere. This is why you have to, especially when I'm on panels, you have to treat people like idiots. Like, when people show you ignorance, there's no point. Respectfully, big up anyone who's deaf, yeah, but are you going to, or blind, yeah? Are you going to try and talk to a deaf person? Like, are you going to try and speak how we're speaking? If somebody's blind, am I going to show them a map without braille? There's no point talking to the ignorant. He's definitely burned out the squad, man. Rumor has it Alonso wants Liverpool this summer. Probably, slots days appear numbered whenever Liverpool go for a bit of a shake. Am I the only one who thinks Alonso ain't all that? I don't really feel there's managers. There's a lot of good tacticians in that, but there's not really a manager you bet your hat on. Like, I'd love Luis Enrique, Hansi Flick. I just think you lot's philosophy, all those things, I like it. Whether we get them or not, who knows? Company wouldn't be the worst of appointment. Also, though, when you flip it on his head, obviously Arteta's got a name in the game. He might not be a winner, but let's have it right. If we're being honest, if the man left today, I'm not saying he would get Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, Man United, this, that, and the other, but he would feature on some shortlist, or there'll be some element of a discussion around what he could do, because he's shown he's a good coach. He's shown he can rebuild. In many ways, there's things, from a coaching point of view, I can see why the Peps and all of these guys say we're the best team in the world. I'm not interested in that, because best team in the world in the Prem, you've got the trophies to signify that. But when we got Arteta, bearing in mind he rejected us the first year because he didn't think he was ready, rightly so. He never had credentials beyond working with Pep Guardiola and what he could be. There was no, at the time, cold-hard evidence as to what you could do. So for me, if you could take that jump, every option's on the table, then surely, innit? You got to love the media agenda. Remember how they criticize player celebrations, what we're supposed to do when we win. But for me, I think Arsenal fans, we should embrace it. They're going to talk was. They're going to move the goalposts. There's going to be evident double standards. There is an element of they like to have their cake and eat it at the same time, because I don't care, because I like it. I like sport like that. I like to see Cherkies, selfies, and doing skills and all of that. And I equally like Ben White kicking him. That's what I grew up on, what football, as a Sunday League footballer, and seeing it in the Prem. That is what it's about. But we all know Miles Lewis-Skelly breathes. He's done out here. You're seeing what other people get away with stuff. It's crazy. All I would say is, when it's your Arsenal players, when it's your time, do your thing. And at the end of the day, lads, if I was talking to them, if you lot done your job, and the gaffer, if you lot done your job on Sunday, there's none of that. But in life, what goes around comes around. These same people were crying about Vinicius and Mbappe, and the list goes on and on and on. In terms of style of play, we have to understand Arteta is playing for his job. If he doesn't win one of the majors, he's out. Hand on your heart. And to be fair, the one thing that makes me lean to that is what his contract's up in 2027. I personally think he must have signed a new deal already, innit? I genuinely think he signed a new deal already, just pending announcement. But if the club are saying, you know what, you have to kind of earn your new deal, fair play. But let's be honest, Arsenal fans, hand in your heart. Hayfield was acting. Hand on your heart. Do you really think if we don't win a Premier champs, that they'll sack him? Not saying whether you want it or not. Do you really believe that? The matter of fact is that after the amount invested in players, 22 years since the last EPL, and lack of trophies are taking its toll. Poor one after 30 years, then again, and fans are, yeah, true. Not many people wanted Arteta when he was given the job initially. Most people thought we were going to get Ancelotti. You can't say Arteta's been a bad appointment. You can definitely have criticisms. You could definitely say he weren't the guy. You could definitely have questions if he could, get over the line. And I'm not saying he's the Messiah, but as I said, when it's all said and done, if it ended today, when he walked into this football club, and where we are now, because again, I just want to win. But Arteta, thank you for restoring some fucking pride in my football club, being difficult to be, actually believing and whatnot, patterning up stuff, not being a soft touch. I could praise you for all of that. But as I said, the past is the past. I'll always admire you for that. No one don't care what Martinelli did in 2022, 23. You care about today. No one don't care what Saka did in the last few years. People care about today. What are you on now? Because that's the same thing that Arteta did, and you have to be ruthless. This is the belly of the beast. Ramsdale at the time, I'm not even saying Raya's clearly an upgrade, but at the time, Ramsdale could be forgiven for being shell-shot. Yo, Raya come in, tinny, alienated, inverted stuff, and this is the nature of the beast. Time waits for no one, and this is where we're going to have to be, but we've never been that club to say, you don't win. We ain't done that when Chelsea were winning that Chelsea stuff or the Real Madrid, whatnot. We were a complete disaster when he came in. Now we're top contenders. But that's the thing. I genuinely think some people are just happy to be contenders. Now, you have to remember the team wasn't his. It takes time to make the team yours after countless Wenger years in a failed Emery. It's been his team for a while now. Like, you're right, but that's all before. And if anything, a lot of the players that weren't his are doing bits for him. Technically didn't get Saliba. Still got Saka. It's 2026 now. That every good and bad thing is on the gaffer, directly or indirectly. Arteta has been successful at Arsenal from a business perspective, but there's a concern he might have hit his ceiling, and it's not enough to win the league until Pep leaves. Keep Arteta. We got this Prem coming, North London. We've come second 3 times. We don't need more fire in the belly. Arteta is running out of rope. For whatever reason, Arteta hate is so forced. Don't know whether this comes from jealousy, especially from pundits and failures and failed coaches. And where I think people are a bit harsh on the guy is, if you say a lie enough times, it becomes the truth. And what I mean by that is, but there's plenty of things to criticize about Arteta. But when they sit here and say, oh, he's so arrogant, look at him on the touchline. If you say that a million times throughout a year, people are going to believe it, but fair play. Fair play. At present, we can't say it was wrong to appoint Arteta, but football teams don't last forever and time is ticking. I hear it, man. Remember, people, this is Arteta's first managerial job. I personally don't think why people hating on him. Who else would have made that progress? I hear that, and that's cool for him. You know, you've done well for what is your first job. Sometimes I think in final moments, like against PSG and at times this season, you can see it's your first job, but that's cool for you. Like, that don't mean nothing to me no more, because, like, you've made man believe we can win the league, you know, and fight for these trophies. You've assembled that great defense and got close, but not go over the line. Like, I wouldn't say you're dying by the standards you set because we're Arsenal, but you're essentially either going to live or die by the standards you set. Like, I've got no loyalty to Mikel Arteta beyond, listen, good or bad, I'll give constructive criticism and praise wherever, but I support Arsenal. It's not an Arteta thing to the death. Like, we do need some silverware now. FA Cup final could very likely be Arsenal versus City again. Listen, let's just game by game, don't count our chickens before they hatch, and get to where we need to. Running Rice and Zubi into the ground when you have capable deputies in MLS and Norgard, this man is frustrating. I hear it, man. Listen, all we can do right now is win the title, innit? That just shuts people up and shuts us up more than anything. People spend a lot of time looking at Arteta and his flaws. My beef is with these players never standing to be counted and hiding behind their manager. I don't agree. I do think, I see why you're saying that. So I do agree to a degree. I think the manager and the players bottled Wembley. I think you all got stage fright or whatever happened. And by the same time, you've got to praise these players because last season, fair enough, nothing happened. Let's be honest, whether it's Arteta and those above, our squad was down to the bare bones. We didn't act in January. It's them man that stood up to be counted and got us to the semi-finals. And it's them lot that have actually granted the majority of them that have got us to fighting for 3 years. Because there's been times I think the managers failed the players have failed him. And that's going to happen. That's probably happened with Pep when he's won stuff. That is how a life works. But I don't think you can just run towards that. And at the end of the day, rightly or wrongly, then that's Mikel Arteta's fault. Because nobody is at this team because you don't want them in there. Well, yes, but many people will say Arteta's only won 1 trophy and we won 3 trophies in 6 years before he came. I see both sides of it. That's why I'm on anything. There are 2 coaches who could take us to the next level, Lowe and Xavi, who have taken sabbaticals and are looking for the right project. I don't know about Xavi, man. Is he the truth or is he? I don't know, man. I don't know about Xavi. The footballer, yeah. The manager, I don't know. If Enrique is available, yes. Otherwise, no. I'm 50-50. Honestly, they have to sack him if he goes trophyless this season. The decision is out of their hands. I disagree. It's always in the Cronky's hands, bro. I hate to be that guy, but football fans and protest does bring change. But you can protest as much as you want. These men are doing what they're doing. Would Mikel walk away if he feels he could do no more, DG? I think he would, but I think if he ended up silverwareless, I really want to get away from this fire in the belly thing, but I think he will go again in it. And let's be honest, he's got a sweet gig. He's got a very sweet gig. There has been times where he could have, should have, and other clubs would have been sacked. And I admire you for jumping in at the deep end and everything you've done and all these kind of things. I don't think you can just blast the manager, but fundamentally, bro, you've made us flirt with greatness, innit? And this is football. In life, rightly or wrongly, everything is your fault. Some of you will think that's unfair. Some of you will get what I'm alluding to. All we can say for sure is he's built a squad to compete at the top. 23, 24, 89 points was as close as we've got. We've been good second places in reality, but that's the thing. We don't want that no more. Let's just hope we win some silverware. If we do not end this season without a major honor this season, I do believe there'll be so much backlash that Arteta will end up leaving. There's a lot of pressure on this one. There is an element of pressure, 100%. If we don't win at least one trophy, serious questions must be asked, especially since we got to the final stages of 4 different competitions. Yeah, some people move like they know his personality. Yeah, man, it's jarring, bro. He does nothing that other managers don't do. Even his press conferences, the man isn't arrogant at all. I have no idea what these people are talking about. And I don't know about anyone else, but I'm all about being fair to people. Like, if they say things like, and it's come out of their mouth and it's been arrogant, then get on to them for being arrogant. But if they've been humble and you're telling man they're arrogant, I can't co-sign to that, man. One point in time, we weren't even contenders, we're pretenders. Now we're putting ups in blenders. Yeah, but Arteta, boys, I don't know, man. You lot would have to tell me. Again, it is your first kind of crack at the cherry, both in terms of being in a final in 6 years and obviously the first of 4 real things. But you lot would have to tell me why at crunch times, like, we're never on the right side of the fine margins. Because when it's all said and done, what's that? City's first win over us in 3 years. When I look at the stats and all of that kind of stuff, I feel the same way I did against PSG, and just generally, like, you've competed, you've not got embarrassed, but you ain't been on the right side of history, innit? And that's what I mean about 90% we're there. That's that 10% Arteta is missing for me. And life is cool in that until we do it. I don't know how you do it. I'm here with you lot on YouTube. He's getting 15 mil a year. The boys, we believe in them. Until we do something different or get over that hurdle, life is going to keep replaying the same thing. And don't get twisted. By God's grace, we win a trophy or 2. And, you know, from now to ever, we're in finals and stuff. You can't win them all. You're going to have to learn how to lose, which is, I don't even think it's a positive, because I think you lot have done enough learning to lose. But if anything, with all the screenshots and the videos coming out over the League Cup, big up yourself for another super chat, Richard. Our fans overlooked that both Pep and Klopp were managers in the EPL. We don't have a divine right to trophies, and I understand the frustration, but context is key, which is also true, yeah. And you're not saying this because Richards is my guy, yeah. I'm not saying he's saying this, but I do feel there are some people, when they say we have no divine right to trophies and context is key, I do think they're a bit disingenuous, and I think it's used to kind of protect the gaffer. And this is why, with your comment about Pep and Klopp, and you could even say Slot based on last season winning the league, not now. Experience, in my opinion, is overrated, but it can never be overstated. And I am at the point, Arteta, I'm not really on like you just get over the line, bro. I'm not really on just learning for the sake of learning, if I'm completely honest. I do feel while you haven't managed before, if we just highlighted the last 4 years of his 6-7 years, there's been a lot of things that you could just learn off your own back. And also, you've worked with Pep where them man have been winning stuff. So you know about the players you need, psychological stuff. There's experience there. Because you've also done things in the game tactically that man with way more experience and way more coaching experience haven't done. So yeah, man. We also need a big transfer in the medical department. I hear it, man. DG, Liverpool and City will forever give Arteta nightmares, even when they handed him a win, he messed up. Well, he's gonna have to get over that. I have seen the Flamini stuff, but I placed the Flamini thing. I placed the Flamini thing with that Spotify done, man. If I'm completely honest, every now and again we see that. I would give Mikel 2 more seasons. He kind of deserves it. He kind of deserves it. We can still bring the Prem and FA Cup and maybe champs home. We are still fighting at all fronts. I think he will leave in the next 2 years because I just feel he's a bit like Pep. He might want to rest and a reset and to try something new. Hopefully we win shit. I don't know about just blindly 2 more seasons. Like, I can't predict the future. You need to get over the line now. For me, it's genuinely, if you stay, you stay. If you go, you go, in it. Because I don't like you enough to just like cry if you stay. I don't hate you to be saying go. I do recognize that you can see my viewpoint in it. But I will say this. If Luis Enrique called my phone right now and said, yo, I'm finna join Arsenal, in the same way Arteta's been ruthless. You know, if there was a Thierry Henry regen and he just bought Jokeres or whatever, safe. Pressure is a privilege. Facts, man. I said last week before the League Cup, we'll lose only if Arteta plays cowardly. I was right in the end. You man think the boardroom care if some random wants him sacked, talking about forcing his hand, that's some entitled stuff. The only way they will care is if people stop going to matches. And we've seen that because that's what got Emre gone. Because if you remember, like when Emre was going, it was all, should he go or not? And I was on the camp of, I'm getting to that stage that Emre needs to, you can actually go see these videos. I'm getting to that stage where Emre needs to cut. But I was like 98% then. If you remember, there stopped being bums on seats. If we fail to win and you want Arteta to hold smoke and get sacked, would you say the same for Saka? Both were pivotal in getting us to this position and are responsible for our struggles. Saka's held more than enough smoke. I back Saka all the way, but you've been shit this year. It's as simple as that. He signed a new deal. If someone's more likely to go, it's going to be the gaffer, innit? And the board might be looking at, if there's any reason to sack Arteta beyond the obvious, I do, and I don't even think the Cronkies are wrong for this, because like, you lot don't want to be winners, like, at least where our game's concerned, innit? You lot got this club so you can make money in London. I think you get people in positions, leave them to their own devices. Nobody's been doing the Cronky protests. Cronkies are not the reason why we haven't won trophies in the last 3 years, bordering on 4. They might look at it and say, you know what? We've put a lot of big players on big wages. We're not really selling. We need to get over the line. They might just say, you know what? Gaffer, you're on 15 mil a year, you know? Like, just looking at finances. When the pressure is hot, I just worry. We froze on Sunday. It was very clear Calafiori needed to come on, but he waited till the game was gone. Saka's not going nowhere, bro. He's on 300 bags a week. Okay, let's just say we're gonna sell him. He's on 300 bags a week. Bearing in mind, there's rumors around the striker. We all know we need a left winger. We all know we need a central midfielder. We all know we need probably another defender. I personally think Norgard and Kepa are leaving to go play more regular football. So that's something to consider. Also, it is all fun and games saying or seeing the links with, we know we need to get rid of Gabriel Jesus, Ben White. Some would say Kai Havertz. They're on big wages. There's no guarantee they're gonna go. Pardon me. And then you want to throw Saka into the mix. But cool, let's say Saka goes. Let's say Saka's the first one to go. You still got to get rid of the players that I've said or sort out the wages. You still got to bring players in. And then you'd have to bring in another right winger. And for like quality. It sounds good, but it don't make sense. With the mountain injuries, it looks like Arteta will have to play MLS and Norgard in midfield whether he wants to or not. He'll find a way not to, man. At this point, obviously, where trophies are concerned, the Prem and the champs, but Gaffer is at that point, people, you lot are disrespecting the thing. You're not smashing the like button. You need to just get over the line in something, bro. Get the Invincibles in to have a sit down and proper chat with them. I think we've gone past it, man. I don't know, DG. If we start winning trophies, I could see him staying in a long while. Yeah, but then again, the Gaffer could, but Guillaume Balaguer is always saying that, he keeps talking about needing a break. He always says Arteta's probably not going to reach the 10-year mark here. Fair enough. Wenger had that every couple of years he was going to leave. Ferguson defo flirted with retirement before actually going many years later. Pep, there's going to be speculation in the summer. So you never know. But I'm just kind of like, Guillaume Balaguer keeps talking about that. And again, I don't know Arteta. I don't know if Gallagher is capping or not, but maybe he's corrupted me a bit. Big ox, but we should be league champions by the summer. Have to make big signings. We had Holden at centre back because Saliba got injured. I personally thought that was our year. I thought if I had to pick what I thought was our year, I didn't believe last year. I didn't believe 2022, 23. I wouldn't. What was it? 23, 24. I wouldn't necessarily say I believed, yeah. But when we got to the tail end, when you could just see an opportunity. Like, from it became like, yo, the forms, Kai Havertz is running. When it became like, we're handling business, you just never know. Like, it's become something. I thought, we might be able to sneak this. And then I gave up going into the game last day of the season. I know some people are optimistic. Who did they play on the last day? Like Villa or Everton? Bro, we don't get that Bandulu luck. We don't get the City last day against last day of the season, Aguero. Our thing at this club, we're not going to get no romance with the league. We're not going to get no romance with the Champions League. We have to be fucking on it and amazing. So I thought he had a year. Ain't it 2027? Only place there'll be a Civil War is AFTV. But I feel like Saka and Palmer shouldn't go to the World Cup and have the summer off next season, but it's obviously not going to happen. The only reason Arteta leaves is when he starts to receive the Wenger treatment. We would win the league still, but Arteta is a nervous wreck manager. Bit harsh. Only 41 likes. Big up, Neil. Can we get to 100? Appreciate you. Clear out is needed. These men are too soft. We need warriors. DG, we're coming for Saliba next season. Who? Liverpool. Funny way to spell or claim Real Madrid. Fair play. It's mad because Emre only got one full season and was gone by November, December. I think Emre needed to go in it. Now, I don't know how it would have looked because there were some luxuries Emre weren't afforded. You know, I do think the players Emre got in the market, you should still do a lot better. Like you wanted Zaha, you got Pepe, could have got more of a tune out of him, but who knows if we were all like, if you had Berta and you had, you know, if the club was a land above board, who knows what Emre would have looked like, if I'm honest. I don't think it would have worked out, but you just never know. And it is true, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. Not that there's been many, but Arteta, you're not the head coach anymore. You are the manager. You have been given more than Emre. They have backed you a lot more. And I don't think Emre was the best fit, but I'll always admire him. And I would say the same if I was Liverpool and Slot, if I was Man United and David Moyes, because you take like the first one to take over after one of them big names, you're kind of fucked anyways. Like, brave lad. I don't like them, but the Cronkies have done their thing, invested money and modernized the boardroom with younger, forward-thinking executives. The only thing missing is trophies. My friend. Now, I'm just saying, I know you're not saying that, Momo, man. I'm just saying. Say if you think I'm talking directly to you. Yo, we look tired Sunday, and that's not me making an excuse. Probably was elements of that. I just don't think we're as hungry enough. And I'm not questioning our want to win and stuff, but I remember when we won the 2020, I always think about stuff like psychologically, like if the shoe was on the other foot, and there's no ideal world, but like if we went out of the Champions League and we weren't everything that Arsenal are at in this going into that final, like Arsenal top of the league, we're still in the champs. We know what cities are. If you was to swap it, I think we would have won, because when we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup, we were in a worse moment than them. When Man United with Ten Hag beat City, they were in a different kind of moment than them. There's obviously been exceptions to the rule. Newcastle in a different kind of moment against Liverpool last year in the same competition, Liverpool on the beach. So it's not that we weren't with it. Was there a bit of like, not that I don't know. I wouldn't call it adversity, but like I don't know, people. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just like City were hungry in it. Like everything's fractured. Like even with me, I don't think City walked into that game thinking they can't win, but I don't think they thought they were going to win 2-0. I think they believed in the tactics, but I don't think it worked out, because you could see in the celebrations post and before the game, it was sink or swim time now. I feel that final gave them a bit of a kick up the arse in a positive way, like the game away at Anfield. If he comes out empty, it'll be a serious meltdown in the fan base. I don't know where we'll go from here, but I genuinely think we'd have won last year if we had striker cover. I think if they got Ollie Watkins in January, I think we at least go into extra time against PSG personally, but it's neither here nor there. It's all ideal scenario syndrome, innit? Emre had to try to win games with Mustafi at the back. He was doomed to fail. The one thing I'll say with Emre, and I believe this is just my hot take. I think we failed him in Europe, because you know his record's immaculate when getting to finals, apart from at one club. And I think he failed us in the league, man. And tactically, he weren't the right guy, bro. I'll never forgive Emre for playing Mesut Ozil and Mkhitaryan together as wingbacks, bro. He was doing fugazi stuff. And as an Arsenal fan, I always know when Emre, no disrespect, listen, big him up. He's a good manager, all those things, doing great at Villa. But I always know when Villa are doing good or bad, because if Villa are not doing well, nobody does this. But if they are, oh yeah, we should have kept Emre, blah, 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 blah. Where the reality is, Emre just weren't the right guy at the moment. Arteta might have been the right guy to fix us up a bit. And unless he proves he can win a Premier Champs, whatever, there might be Joe Bloggs ready. I trust Saka to reinvent his game. I believe next season he'll come back better than this. He just needs to stay fit. I hope so, but you need to salvage some element of the season. Is Kroenke out soon? Do we think all these players are injured, or as Arteta just said, you're not going? Probably a bit of both. There probably is little knocks and niggles and things. Yeah, our first chance was the best because we were dark horses, but we blew it due to inexperience. And that's the thing. It's not that you lot are wrong, yeah, but whether it's inexperience or whatever have you, in the last 4 years, we haven't seized the present. Like we haven't. We've been driven by the pain of the past. We do have an eye on the future, but we haven't grabbed the present, and it ain't happened, innit? And football don't work like this. But just to humor you lot, because all it is conversation. We could have won 4 Prems in a row. We could have won 1 in 4. We could have won 2 or 4. We could have, retained 1. We could have picked up numerous domestic cups. We might have even been able to dream chase a bit better in Europe. I say Europe, Arteta was here when we was in the Europa League. But that's all make-believe. That's all here, there, and everywhere. We have nothing, really, but smacking up City 5-1. More points than the Invincibles, all of that. Yes, we've got a competitive team, tactical staff, Real Madrid, but there's none of this. And that's where we're at now, isn't it? Surely. We're in cruise control. City were retaliating. Ashamed of our play, but it would never be easy. When is the next collab with Jessica? Trying to get, well, she's about to do tomorrow, innit? But trying to, we're in talks. We're in talks. I think I need to reply to her message, to be fair. Talk Sport Ultimate Chef. Keep cooking these clouds by G Fish. One love. In the long term, I'd want better than Watkins, but for that season to cover the injuries, he would have been perfect. Yeah, that's my kind of thinking. How do you think we're going to pivot now that Eze is out for more than a month? Odegaard aside. Because Odegaard's not fully fit. You're going to have to ride that train. I'd imagine Saka's going to go into that role. I saw someone on Twitter say, could you flirt with Gabriel Jesus there? But then looking at our squad, obviously there's a couple of others. You might be able to get Miles Lewis-Skelly in midfield and kind of, it wouldn't be Odegaard's role per se, but rework that midfield unit, that midfield three better yet. I think Trossard's an option there. Because I've seen him do it before. Naturally, he probably will go with Trossard there and Martinelli if the time comes. Watkins would absolutely cook the team. In the team, I've always said modern strikers are peaking in their 30s. I'm with Schema in that. Like, for what was left of that, if we just had him for those 6 months, it's calm. But yeah, big up Dowman. Yeah, and of course, Dowman minutes, 100%. I'd love Krupti. Love him, but bro, the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, isn't it? Like, wishing on a star with all of that. They told me Spring Eze, where is he at, man? Is Saka, Odegaard, Kai, Dowman in the tennis? It's annoying, man, because it happens not just at our club, not just this season, but several others. When it happened to Gyökeres, did it not? But against Burnley, or there might have been two. The minute the player finally gets a little bit of run of form and he's kind of looking all right now, like, it's cruel, really, if I'm honest with you. And then they're out, and then you have to restart and whatnot. Calafiori issues Arsenal injury update after pain complaint. People, let's see what he said. He has issued an update on his fitness after complaining of pain following the League Cup defeat. What specifically have you said? Because they all scare me, but you are the one that's Juju. One love in the chat. You are one that scares me. Arsenal have already seen 6 players skip international duty due to fitness concerns. I think I'm okay. We'll see in training. Odegaard won't play no part for Norway. Is that all he said? Okay, pick up you for getting me to click this article. Completely off topic, but Pep Guardiola has never lost back-to-back league titles in his career. Are you not confident being 9 points clear? Let me know. Again, happy. Well, I was about to say happy retirement, but happy end to your Liverpool career, Mo Salah. I mean, Premier League legend, Liverpool legend, world-class footballer. You know what he's done. The best compliment I can pay Mohamed Salah is like what I said to Eden Hazard. Big fan of yours. Can't say I'm sad to see you go in it, really. And every time I see you, Salah, I just think Callum Chambers and Rob Holding, if I'm completely honest. What's going on here? Arsenal have reportedly picked out 2 players to act as part of their summer fire sale, while Team Talk understands they've identified a replacement. Okay, get to the business end. Ben White and Gabriel Jesus have been chosen to be part of a summer fire sale at Arsenal, who are set to offload these players, and they are unlikely to stop at just those 2. Yeah, they're important. Who else? Okay, Ben White. We heard that yesterday. We have been linked with Wesley of Roma. He's a fullback. I think I could see a move for Ben White to Chelsea take place in the summer. It makes sense. It's possible. I feel quite sorry for Chelsea, because he has had an injury. He was playing so well for Arsenal. He was unbelievable. Then he came back, lost his place to Timber. There was a point where that has happened, but there was a point Timber was playing left back. He was the best right back in the Premier League. The best right back, Reece James, but I think Timber is cold second. But then you could say, you never really see Reece James on a consistent basis. It's going to take something special to unseat him now. I don't think Arsenal would be willing to sell him in the winter window, though, because that squad depth is one of Arsenal's biggest advantages. Okay, well, we can't sell him now, so I don't know what they're talking about after that. Have you not seen Theo Walcott urging Max Dowman not to accept a World Cup call-up? Not that he's going to get one. You just don't want him to actually play, unlike you. I hope Dowman doesn't go. I don't mean it in a horrible way, because if I could go back in time, I would change things. I would say to myself, no, don't do it. But then try telling that to a 17-year-old. I do still see him and me differently, as he's playing in the Premier League, but he needs to go at his own pace. I had to go out very fast, but this team is still young and not as experienced. He's being protected, which is important, whereas I had to get thrown in to talk to you lot. In time, he will go, yes, but I don't think it's the time. I think there are better players who arguably deserve to be ahead of him. He will eventually get there, but England, apologies, have wide players doing really well. There's Saka, Noni, Bowen, Gordon and Harvey Barnes. He's not going to get called up. But being devil's advocate, he's actually played in the Premier League, which you haven't, Theo Walcott. And I would also say, I'm not even saying he should go because this is nonsense. How much did that affect your career? When you look back, hindsight's 2020, but how much did it affect your career? Because at the time, obviously, you got the move from Southampton to Arsenal. You didn't kick a ball. You know, Sven Eriksen's called you up to England, think you're going to be the next guy. You haven't played for whatever reason. How much did it really affect your career? Because everyone we remember you for that. But like, remember Theo's career. If anything, I more remember 1 minute I'm a striker, then I'm a winger, then I'm a striker, then I'm a winger. It didn't really affect your career like that. But I understand it though, because you have gone from Southampton to Arsenal. You've become, you have had to grow up quickly because it was boys leading boys. I do agree with that, but in the grand scheme of things, it didn't really change much, if I'm honest. What else? Big up hand of Arsenal. We did cover this, but apparently Arsenal are reportedly looking likely to make changes at right back. Livramento has been linked. I'm having him if he can stay fit, man. I don't really want Ben White to go, I'll be real, but I understand if we need to freshen up stuff. Maybe, you bring in a player on less wages. I hear it, people. Livramento, I'm more than happy. Can I see us spending 60 million? No, if I'm completely honest, on another right back. We might get a cheaper option. We have been linked with Jimenez of Bournemouth, which, fair enough, I'm not watching Bournemouth week in, week out. Tactically, I think I can see the angle. Going forward, he's good. Defensively, I'm not sure. I don't really want to talk about Paul Scholes, but I make him right in it. You have to shoot the message. You have to shoot. You can't always shoot the messenger in it. You have to just look at stuff. They're better players, just weren't performing. Saliba was. You talk about these forward players not performing, but you have to look at your midfield players and your centre halves. They couldn't get the ball to them. And to be fair with you, that is on the gaffer as well, because I've seen that many a time. Do you see the bit where Bernardo sprinted out to try to stop it going for a corner? When you're playing against it, you don't want to give it away. It's almost like playing Stoke, what we did years ago. Sometimes, because the throw-ins were so good, the manager told us to kick it far for a corner because of Rory Delap, because the delivery is not as good. I mean, when I said that, Brentford away, people said I was nitpicking. What we're saying is, I think they've become obsessed with it. They forgot about the other way they can actually score goals. Okay, now you're chatting off a bit. Now you're starting, okay, come off my screen. I tried to give him a chance. I tried, and he's chatting shit now. Arsenal finalising Julian Alvarez deal. Apparently a first summer buy. Yoker is replaced already. And it's at the final stages. Has any of you lot, maybe I'm not used to this, but you lot seen anything about fees agreed, medicals? It's nonsense, man. Let the kid breathe. Most of us are big fans, but damn, I think we got to chill with Max, man. We talk about trends a lot in here, and we can literally name 10 plus prospects that the media went nuts for and either fell off or injuries took them. Emery is a tired manager. Why is there still a debate? Under Emery, we look like joke, man. Forget the money stuff. Get Monus from Palace for right back. I think he's going to Spain. Pardon me. I think Walcott was always a bit too shy or within himself, so the England call-up was too soon. Dowman is a different breed. He doesn't look scared or face for his age. True. Then you throw in it is a different moment. Hey, you know what? He probably is. Because, Harry, the guy, you lot get onto that, when you see me on the TalkSport inside shows, he's from the same, village as Theo Walcott. And, it's a small little town. And he said when Theo got called up, obviously all the media's there and whatnot. So, you know what? To go from that little small town, obviously there's more than 50 people, but from 50 people... Arsenal move, England call up, Sky Sports this, he's the next, that, and the third. Yeah, he probably was a shy lad still. Probably was a shy lad. I mean, we haven't seen anything here. This says we're looking at Alvarez, but where's the specifics? While Alvarez is normally a centre forward, Arteta prefers taller players to act as a pressure valve when his sides go route one, meaning that the 5'8" Alvarez might well be brought in on the left wing. Really? Gunners aren't looking to replace Gyökeres at all. 4-4-2, understand that one of Martinelli or Trossard is likely to leave in the summer. I prefer Trossard. 4-4-2, understands, however, that the ideas that Arsenal have finalised the move for Alvarez may be a little premature. With basic personal terms, perhaps agreed, but a full transfer outlay still way off being completed just yet. So you've I get it, the game's the game, you need to get clicks, but yeah, it's looking like nonsense. James Ellis has confirmed his exit from Arsenal in an emotional statement, apparently. Time to date the next step. Sport is a wonderful sector to work in. I'm very, very lucky to have worked in this industry for 25 plus years. My journey in sport, from participation, rejection, education, coaching, scouting, and senior leadership, has made me who I am. And I owe this exposure to so many people along the way. I've been fortunate enough to work and contribute to some outstanding sporting organizations in the UK and abroad in high performance and football industry, which I hope in a small way I've left in a better position than when I started. I recently departed Arsenal Football Club, where in nearly 5 years I gave my all in an attempt to help recontribute to supporting the development of elite level club and its higher performance environment. The most notable memory of my time there was coming across a number of wonderful people who saw the world of opportunity, responsibility, custodianship, and contribution the same as I do. I'd like to wish the club the very best for the future. Thank you to everyone who has come so far in my career, helped shape me, learned so much from, and helped me find a course that supports my desire to support others, fulfill their potential, support organizations, achieve their ambitions. I look forward to the next opportunity. That is wonderful to hear. Again, people, Arsenal and Man United are among the heavyweight clubs interested in Bournemouth teenager Ryan. He only joined in January for 24.7 million with an additional 5.6 million people. Anyone having Ryan? He probably did move there thinking that could be a thing. I think Esposito or the PSG kid Malubu are realistic. I don't think Jokeridge will be moved on quick. Arteta fails at rotation, the most reluctant rotation I've ever seen from a manager. You man are overcomplicating this young players thing. Young players are to be used as rotation options. If they're really good, they might one day become regular first teamers. Do we protect players so in their prime? So their prime is 24, 25. How can you really protect players? Because once you become important, you become important. Obviously, there is something with, the amount of game time, a Rooney, a Cess, how it looks for Saka. Well, them two, the first two names, how it kind of their careers kind of ended a bit prematurely. Saka's probably paying for playing week in, week out. And the club probably knew, but at the end of the day, man, need to win games. They're playing them. So, and the clubs don't care, man. Football it's just going to get more and more relentless, man. But yeah, anyone having Ryan? Oh, Brazil take on France in Croatia friendlies. We'll be watching that. Brazilian publication RTI Esporte report that Man United and Arsenal are both keeping tabs on Ryan, as are Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. Bournemouth will not be letting the youngster leave so cheaply, having inserted a huge release clause in his contract worth 86.5 million quid. He signed a 4-year deal, people, and he signed till 2031. Boy, quality player. But yeah, big myth if we think that's going to happen. We've gone over the Dowman thing. We're being linked with Elliot Anderson, which is at least a new name, people. Elite centre. Let's just skip to what matters. Arsenal, United, City, and Chelsea are all expected to be looking in the top bracket to improve themselves for next year. They will not come cheap either, with the going rate for top midfielders being around 100 million. We've seen Caicedo, Enzo, and Rice. Only one of them's lived up to the price tag. Let's be real with the other two, mate. If you want to do this agenda stuff, where are the names? Elliot Anderson. Apparently, Arsenal, City, and United are monitoring him. He's in no rush to sort out his future until at least after the World Cup. I think Arsenal's name's just been thrown in there for a bounce. He ain't said nothing there. We have been linked with Tonali. Arsenal and both Manchester clubs are believed to have Tonali high on their list of possible midfield targets for the summer. In particular, Arsenal have been widely linked with Tonali for a few months. However, it's not as straightforward as the club being able to splash out a huge fee on the Italian. Although they are under no immediate financial threat with regards to PSR, Arsenal are expected to have to make some sales this summer in order to make any sizable reinvestments in the first 11. Right. And he's got to do it at least until 2029. Smash the like button if you haven't. Apparently, we're looking at Wharton, who's on the list as well, of not just us, but City and United. Wouldn't be against him. Belemba, I'd have him, but I think if we're going to splash bread, say Arsenal have been named, if we're going to splash bread, I do think we more need the other names mentioned, if I'm honest with you. Appreciate you, Tom. Appreciate you. Big up, DG. I think the loss is a blessing in disguise. The squad goes into the break with a sour taste in their mouths, and that is motivation we need to get over the line in the league. I hear you, Tom. But you see that sentence, appreciate the super chat. We see that sentence, that paragraph. If you could apply that to 2022, you could apply that to any of the last 4 years. And if we didn't know that just recently happened, we'd be saying, when is that? When was that? So yeah, man. It is what it is. Anderson would be a great alternative to Rice, great engine. I just wonder about him on the ball. And it's weird because I know he can get around. In terms of what I like to see from a midfielder, it's Wharton, but I don't know about him defensively and his mobility. I'd love Tonali. I'd have any of them, mate. I'd have any of them. Or if we can scout guys that have the potential to be like them and they cost significantly less, why not? Anyone having João Gomez? We ain't been linked with him, surely. United are looking at him. Kamara's at 28, 29. He probably puts off clubs, but I wouldn't be against it at all if I could make something happen. You already know, people. Eze is out for a month with an injury. Again, there's further scans due, but yeah, don't hold your breath to see him. Oh gosh, why is this playing? We're going to get copyrighted. Arsenal target Kvaratskhelia deal ahead of summer upgrades. We all don't believe this, but let's lie to ourselves. Miguel Delaney has said Arsenal are investigating a deal for PSG's Kvaratskhelia in anticipation of a considerable reshuffle this summer. The PSG stars camp are understood to be open to the idea, although the Qatari-owned club would naturally be hardline over a player they see as a jewel of their current project. Wait, I might be making this up, but didn't he sign for them? Ain't he only been there a year? Didn't he sign for them in 2025 to January? I mean, if he's open to it, granted, you know, players move on all the time, but it sounds like was. Maybe I'm wrong, and I do think he's just moved there, but I'd imagine at some point in this article, there must be some talks around a new deal. It's widely known that Arsenal do want to sell in the summer and would consider the exit of a senior player, which would then give them more headroom to cope with the Premier League shift in regulations to squad cost ratio. That does not necessarily mean any business stops there, although, and it could yet be possible that there are a few outgoings and incomings to facilitate a few tweaks to Mikel Arteta's squad. Special attention could be paid to attack with Kvaratskhelia, who scored 3 times against Chelsea. Any player that scores against Chelsea is right to have here. In the Champions League last 16, seen as a star who could offer more individual quality, while potentially elevating the level of the squad overall. Any prospective deal is viewed as extremely complicated, though, something that was also the case with the 25-year-old's previous move from Napoli to PSG last year. For Kvaratskhelia part 2, he gave an interview only last month where he spoke about his joy at being at the European champions and underlined his will to be one of their greatest ever players. Me personally, I think you go Real Madrid one day. That isn't necessarily seen as a deterrent, although, and his camp is willing to at least consider alternatives. Sources within PSG insist he would be seen as a near unsellable star. Arteta is also known to greatly admire Atletico Madrid's Julian Alvarez, but there's currently no prospect of Arsenal paying a fee of at least £86.5 million that the Spanish club wants. So make of that what you will. Me, I don't doubt there's interest in these players, but we're always, whenever we lose a game, merchandise and this comes out. So, yeah. Spain manager says Arsenal the second best midfielder in the world. De La Fuente talked to them. Zubamendinho. They could never gaslight me. What are you saying about my guy? After all, in that position, the number 6 role, we have the 2 best players in the world, Rodri and Zubamendi. Okay, I don't need to hear nothing else. We can play that way with a double pivot perfectly well. My idea of football, Rodri and Zubamendi may occupy a similar role, but they're different players with different characteristics. In fact, Martin is getting into the box more now and scoring goals, but he also has the qualities of a positional player with balance and outstanding tactical awareness. Rodri has those same qualities too, so having them there gives us security in that kind of structure. But at the same time, you have to remember that only 11 can start. Then you would ask me about Pedri, Lopez, Fabian Ruiz. Just pushing my propaganda, people. Kvaratskhelia would consider a move to Arsenal. Are you going to say anything different? Or are you regurgitating the same thing? He's got 3 years left on his deal, so it's going to be expensive. For me, Paris is truly extraordinary. You have everything here, and above all, this is the city of love. When PSG contacted me, I thought my wife was the happiest person in the world. Before PSG contacted me, she always said, imagine one day we play for PSG. It'd be amazing to stay here. In my mind, I think it's very difficult to go there when there are great players like Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. I love everything about Paris. The more I think about it, the more I appreciate how respectful the people are here. Okay, so we can forget about that. And again, we've been linked with Mayolubu of PSG people. He's been linked with Aston Villa and several clubs in the last day, probably owing to the fact that he's under contract until 2027. So in the summer, you don't sell him, deals are running down, money potentially isn't being made. Foden insists Man City can still win the Premier League as well. So seems like that's everything we've got, people, really. Cara was up for grabs from Napoli, and I'm sure we pussyfooted about it with a proper offer. His agent said, like, when he offered him to Napoli, offered him to everybody in the Premier League for 10 million quid. Just get the Yildiz and call it a day. He's probably going to cost 100 million. Just DM Hand of Arsenal DG, he'll let you know. I big up Hand of Arsenal, man, because he bigged up my performance on TalkSport as well. I have to meet him one day and then sign an NDA probably. Cool guy, man. I got time for him. Hit the like button if you haven't, you freeloaders. Losing is never a blessing. A win could have been better motivation. If we get Caradonna, it's over. Stupid we didn't go deep last year. He'll cost over 120 mil. 1 year on his deal. Anderson is great on the ball when under instruction, but can try the Gerrard thing too much when overgassed. Yeah, I do think he's got more pass range than he's not showing. Is us not putting games to bed stopping the youngsters from getting game time? Probably. But I just think we're not putting games to bed because something's missing, whether it's the gaffer or we're naive. But naturally, you go and smoke teams 3-4-0, the gaffer might say, yo, you lot, there's minutes there. But when the game's on knife edge, I can understand it. English football calling up young players ruin their careers. Whether it, you know what, it's not just that, it's anything. The English media, like we've seen, I'm only 30, turn 31 next month, but Jack Wilshere, whether it's worked or not, Jack Wilshere, Trent, Jude Bellingham, Rashford, Sterling, like the list goes on. Saka, they love you and you're in the honeymoon period and they give you better energy and then they're the first to tear you down. And it's the same journalists that come out with them articles tearing these players down. They're the ones that were gassing it, you know. Like, God forbid, but if Max Dowman gets called up for England, the same journalists that say he's the next Messi, he's the best thing since Gaza, I guarantee you, get their name, screenshot their name after the tournament. If he stinks up the joint or any L, they'll be the same ones talking nonsense. Journalists are almost as bad as referees. Most managers are stubborn, but I'm going to want to see Saka rested and more trust shown in Noni. I can't lie, he's done a lot better than we all thought. Still no goals, man. We don't need any more injury-prone players at Chelsea. I don't know who the hell that is, Juju. You better not be dissing the guy. I don't understand the response to Salah calling time at Liverpool. Liverpool fan base all over the place on that news. He's had a legendary run. When in recent times have we finished the season strong? Don't want to be doom and gloom, but we have to buck the trend. And that's the reality. Like, when it's crunch time, we've gone out on a whimper, innit? Individually and obviously collectively in terms of results. So we're going to have to pattern up. Lads, the real one we missed out, that's not many people called, was Ikatike. He'd fit us perfectly. Yeah, I can't lie. And we could have cheated. We probably wouldn't have got him in Jokered, but we could have cheated the game with him doing a job on the left-hand side. Saka in the 10, Noni on the right is what will happen, but I'd rather Dowman on the right. But then people are going to say, play Dowman. People are saying, play Dowman every game. And then they're going to say, oh my God, he's been ruined. And on one hand, I do want to protect the 16-year-old, but on the other hand, bro, he's a tool in the toolbox. I don't care if you're 16 or 31, because that's the age range. No one's older than 31, innit? Maybe Norgard's turned 32. Utilize them. Because at the end of the day, when I removed the romance, he came on. If Dowman don't come off that bench against Everton, we drop 2 points. And think about the conversations we're having. We're in cruise control. City were... Oh, sorry. Saw that already, man. Ossie Henry is the guy we needed. There's got to be something wrong with Osimhen, man. And I don't mean I think there is, but the striker market's dead. You're doing your thing. Not only that, adaptability. You've played in, obviously now Turkey, but exclude that. You've played in Turkey, France, Germany. You've played in a couple leagues. It just made too much sense for everyone to go for him, but you ended up in Turkey, innit? I mean, 7 games aren't going to kill him. Bro, tools in the toolbox, let's utilize them, innit? I don't know what's stopping us from getting one big player in the summer. The last time we spent big peas on a player was Rice at 100 million. We need one more player like Rice. If we win one Prem, I see an era of trophies on the Teta. If we sack him, maybe we do a slot, one league, a few cups, that's it. Nah, Sancho, got time for you. Want to see it work? But nah, man. I don't know about you in London. You might just get a bit too complacent. I don't want to sound all Graham Sounessy, but yeah. Pardon me. Mabulu is a wonder kid future talent, not the right transfer target for you lot. You need players that can start games, not be developed and ready only after 3 seasons. I can't do both. Get me the players that are ready to achieve right now. If he could be part of the squad and sold for a profit, why not? Arsenal confident Odegaard will be able to contribute to the season after internationals. He was angry with his own performance and wants to put his stamp on potential history. I don't doubt that. And big up you, but boys, I'm tired of the talking now. Like, you're not wrong for talking. It's out there. Because you know what the beautiful thing is about football? If I just use Arsenal as an example, there's someone from Ecuador, there's Spanish dons, there's English players of African heritage, there's Brazilian dons, there's Italian there's all sorts of nationalities in our team and different languages and cultures. But they all speak one language. That's with your 2 feet. That's it. That's it now. I don't doubt you lot. Big up you lot. Just me, I don't want to hear it now. I'm not saying don't speak, but feet, 3 points, through to tournament, well, latter stages of competitions, and just keep it moving, man. And absolutely just keep it moving. That's all I want to hear. People, though, we've been here for an hour and 10 minutes. Why waste you lot's time, man? I'm sure you lot are bored now, so what's the point? It's 8 p.m. You lot go and get some dinner and whatnot. If you're around the world, do what you're doing. Again, international break or no international break, there's going to be content. So if you are on Twitch, make sure you subscribe with Amazon Prime. If you're on YouTube and you've hit the like button, appreciate you. If you haven't, what are you doing? My members, my supporters, my mods, the people that sent the super chats, appreciate all of you lot. Yeah, man, we've spoken about the transfer news. We've gone over the Max Dowman. We've humored ourselves in the chat, which I always appreciate from you, especially in periods like this. Always think, oh, what are we going to talk about? Are they going to be here from young? It's going to be a flop. It's going to be a failure. But you lot never let the guy down. So, yeah, man, like, comment, subscribe, follow on all the socials. Just type in Deluded Gooner on anything from Facebook to TikTok, and it's there. And I think I know a player that we should be looking at. Because we talk about...
Against this right back, Charlie.
We speak about in the cup final, we couldn't play Century. He's made a narrow inverted line.